Welcome back to Ripping Puck, and today we're talking about weird equipment in the NHL. And as always, make sure to let me know in the comments if I have missed any. But today we're going to start off talking about colored palms in the NHL. David Pastrnak and Claude Giroux were the notable ones to do this, replacing the tan and gray with very bright colored palms. This is just an aesthetic choice, but it did make them stand out a little bit, and customizing the palm isn't a huge thing, but these guys were just doing this for style. Now we have to talk about Malkin in his mismatched gloves. He's wearing a 15 and a 14 in Bauer and CCM. So not only are the gloves different sizes, they're completely different brands. Now this is likely just a comfort thing, and he might have discovered this by accident and just found that it worked. Either way, there are a few cases of guys doing this in the NHL. The Christian curved goalie sticks has to be discussed. As you can tell, there's a curve to the shaft, and Andy Moog was the guy to use the Curtis curve by Christian in the NHL. And the idea is when the goalie goes down, you're able to actually make the stick flat to the ice, and it might have helped with the goalie's positioning a little bit as they're maneuvering with the stick. However, it didn't catch on. And with it being curved, it's not balanced either, so for the benefits that you're getting with the curve, they could just be all washed out by its lack of balance. Then we got to talk about Tyler Bertuzzi and his flop on the tongue of his skate. Now this is something that I'm guilty of. The real logic behind the tongue being pushed out is that it gives you a bit more agility. You can move your ankle and leg around a little bit more freely. Kaprizov just cuts the tongue off, but Bertuzzi does this, and this is something that used to be a bit more popular back in the early 2000s. Now you can kind of customize your skate a little bit more, but he's just still going for the massive flop on the tongue. But at that rate, just cut him off like krill. Quick commercial break here to tell you guys about Owner's Box. It's a daily fantasy platform where you can actually play fantasy matchups against your friends. Stop giving the sportsbook your money. Just try and beat your friends in a daily matchup instead. Then we have to talk about Samuel Girard, who actually candy caned his stick with rolled up tape, basically making a ribbed shaft. Phil Kessel was kind of the one that made the candy cane his thing, just not to this extreme. I guess that it kind of makes sense since your stick is going to be so grippy with that, but it would also make it harder for you to slide your hand up and down your stick, but the grip's probably superior. This video wouldn't be complete without talking about the Reebok Pumps. Basically, there was an air bladder in the skate, and then you would have a little button here that you would press to pump them up. You can get your skates formed to your feet by baking them, but the pumps basically allowed you pressure customization every single time, and honestly, I tried these on and they were comfortable. The problem with this is it did make your skate a little bit more heavy, and it could break mid-game, so then you're just basically wearing a set of non-baked skates. So if that happens, you'll just be uncomfortable. And when CCM absorbed Reebok, this just went away. Offset stick blades are something that was actually quite interesting. Guys tried this one out, and the idea is to basically better align the blade and the shaft together here. Maybe you'd think it would give you a little bit more leverage on your shots, but switching from your traditional placement to something slightly further back was just too big for guys to overcome, and this did not last. Now guys, if you found today's video interesting and you have some more suggestions for products that I need to cover, make sure to let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe.